So I'm a big fan of the Color Purple movie. Like that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
But Celie, my dear sweet sister, we'll all be coming home soon if we can work something out with the United States immigration, because they don't know whether we're American.
There's so much, bro. I don't know if you listened to that whole record, but there's so much great stuff on that particular record that Quincy composed. It's incredible. So I remember getting that record and finding those pieces. And this was a time to where if you listen to Power, you can kind of see the formula of Power. It's like breakbeat, vocal sample chop, and instrumentation around it. So this particular beat I made, like once when I told you that I went to work with Kanye in Hawaii, and then I came back home and my agenda was to send Kanye beats every day. This was one of the beats made because I was like, man, let me try this. Like it's something special about this formula. So if you notice, this is pretty much the same thing. You got the drum break. You got the bass. You have the piano chords. Vocal sample playing. And then I played those piano chords to make it feel like the sample was not repeating. Because if you take that piano away, the vocal sample is just a loop. It just does the same thing. But when you add those different notes of the piano, it makes it feel like it's changing, but it's not. It's only the piano that's changing. The vocal is staying the same. So once I did that, I had my brother Caleb Sean, incredible musician. He came over and he played those wicked chords that's on that. Like the organ type. He played those chords on there following those piano notes that I put in there. Because another thing that I would like to do, just so the break can feel more modern and new, I would add my own kicks to the break. This was a good story. This was, so one day I get an email from Kanye, and he was always like sporadic. So it was like, yo, me and Jay going to London tomorrow. Come out with us. We're going to start the collaborative project. I wind up in Bath with them. And basically what it was, so when I get to Bath, it's basically me. This is the first day. Me, Kanye, Ryan Leslie was with us. No ID was with us. Noah Goldstein, who was the engineer. And Kanye was basically like, okay, Jay-Z's not coming till tomorrow, the next day. Let's start creating beats or pulling beats to play with him, to play for him when he gets on the day that he gets here. So the next day is when that night Jay-Z walks through the door and he comes in, and that's when we officially started the Watch the Throne album process. Once he got there. And the setup was dope, bro, because we were all in the same room. It was a big like dome-like studio. And in front of us was Kanye and Jay. They had the mic set up facing each other, right by the engineering board. And they would literally just, once they record something, they would look up, be like, yo, who got some ideas? And we would play the ideas. And then they would be like, yo, let's record that. Or that's dope. Let's play that. So with the Murder to Excellence joint, the Swiss Beats version got played first because they had sent him the beat. They recorded that version, and that song was actually called Black on Black Murder. When they recorded my joint, it was actually to a completely different beat. And I'm gonna see if I can find the beat for you so I can send it to you.
Mhm.
'Cause it was a different beat that I had did that I played, and Jay-Z was like, yo, that's the one. And he recorded his same verse on this first beat. But over time, we will be having conversations and we like, man, the energy has to be the same as what we recorded for the album. Because at the first day of the album, we recorded a bunch of like Ryan Leslie songs, and it was like very bright, up tempo, so it wasn't fitting within things. So Kanye would always be playing that beat because it was a beat I sent to him in email, and he played it one day, and Jay was like, "Yo, I think that's this the one. I think we could use this one for that, replace that beat." So he spit his lyric on it. That became a song called Black Excellence.
Mhm.
So we're in the studio one night and we're just running through the songs that we've already recorded. Black Excellence was playing. Kanye stopped it mid-song and was like, "Yo, no, I got an idea. Put this song right after the Black on Black murder so it comes right in right after it." He was like, because
Mhm.
these two they sound like the same song because both of them had the vocal chants.
Mhm.
So Noah in the Pro Tools, he cut it and sliced it and merged it to where it came in right after that. They played it super loud, started with the first joint, and soon as it came into the second joint, the way it came in,
Black on black murder again. It's a celebration of black excellence.
all of us in the room, we lost it. It was like, yo, this is incredible how it came in. So after that, he was like, yeah, that's it. This is one song. We'll just call it Murder to Excellence now. So he put the murder from Black on Black murder, and the Black excellence, took the excellence from that and be like, we're just gonna call it Murder to Excellence.
So once they merged it, did
Mhm.
anything from your song change afterwards
Nothing changed.
at all?
And I thought Kanye was gonna add something to it. I remember after this, I went to No ID's wedding. And at the wedding, there's a picture you can search, but it's at the table at No ID's wedding. It's me, Kanye, Big Sean, and I Old School. We're all sitting at the table together. And I remember asking Kanye, I was like, "Yo, bro, like, did you change something? What'd you add? I'm excited to hear what you added to the record." He was like, "Bro, I kept it exactly the same." Like he was like, "It's perfect as is." Jay is incredible, bro. I had the honor to see him listening to the beat on the loudspeakers, walking around the room in front of me, and just like looking around the room. 15, 20 minutes later, he's telling Noah, okay, I got it. Gets to the
Yeah.
mic, and he just literally just one take, just one took the whole verse. And that's the verse that you hear on the record is the same verse that he took 15 minutes later after hearing the beat.
If you put crabs in the barrel to ensure your survival, you gon' end up pulling down niggas that look just like you. What up, blood? What up, cuz? It's all black. I love us.
That line in particular, I mean, he's obviously alluding to, the critique that there are some black people who don't want to see other black people win. To what extent have you had to encounter that from other people in the industry, that mindset?
Oh, I see it a lot, bro. I mean, you got to think of it like in the industry, everyone's fighting for a position, whether it's a position at a particular label, whether it's a position on a particular project or artist album. So if everyone's fighting for a particular position and there's only so many positions to be filled, of course, some people are gonna have that crabs in the bucket mentality. Like I should be here, or if you on here, like I don't feel like you should be on this particular in this particular space. I should be there, and I've seen it a lot, bro, just with people undercutting certain individuals or trying to block someone's blessing, man. Um, you see it a lot because everybody don't have the same mentality,
Mm,
and that's the mentality of like the way I see things. On my perspective is like there's enough for everybody to win, and whatever is yours is yours. Like no one can
mm.
take that from you. So if you think like that or have that mentality, like you approach things a different way.
Another part of the song that stuck out to me is when Jay-Z says,
Domino, domino, only spot a few blacks the higher I go. What's up, well, shout out to O. That ain't enough, we gonna need a million more.
to what extent would you say that there's been a shift in the industry in terms of more black people occupying positions of influence within the industry? Has there been a shift, a positive shift in today in 2024?
I mean, of course, there has been in certain areas, I would say. Um, even from, I'll just give my personal experience real quick on like just me being a part of the Recording Academy and being a governor of the Recording Academy and having these boards to where we have these conversations of like, hey, look, there's not enough of us represented on the inside. So how can you have, because the way the Recording Academy used to be way back when, you would have older white men judging or voting for the best rap album. And it's like, how can you have someone that's not in that space or don't know anything about it voting for what's the best rap album or rap single? So that's one of the things like being a part or being in the Recording Academy I've seen grow because it's like, no, for these particular categories, you should only have the people that's in those particular categories. So for the
Mm,
best rap album, it's nothing but producers that work in that space, or nothing but writers that work in that space, or execs that have signed artists that's in that particular space. So in that sense, yes, things have become better because now there's more awareness to these things, and because of the awareness, we can there's been more action. Everything has been more action driven to better these situations. Now, of course, there's always going to be situations at the top to where at the very top to
mm,
where you don't see a lot of us, and I think that's just the system at that point. It's just like create a whole new system, create your own systems.
mm.
Don't operate within the machine because the machine is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's always going to be the machine. This is the opportunity to create your own machine.
Since you've been in the industry, is there any artists that you've seen work as hard as Kanye West?
Beyonce.
And that's a good
Mm.
segue. That's a good segue.